pandemic continues to be a burden for every Filipino, with many struggling to make ends meet. For our next episode, financial guru and broadcaster Salvi Tupito shares advice on how we can earn, save up, and make our money work for us. Get free financial advice from Salve only here on Brewed Awakening. Good morning, Brewsters. I'm Mix Bustos, and welcome to another episode of Brewed Awakening. Two questions that are in the minds of many Filipinos during these tough times. How can we fit our earnings into our budget, and is there a way to save up for the future given the current economic crunch due to the pandemic? Luckily for us, one of the Philippines' most recognizable and well-respected financial gurus is in the show today. My colleague, host of On the Money on ANC, and of course, she is also a content creator. Salvi says on Facebook, YouTube, Kumu, all the platforms, all the online platforms that can be seen, of course, online. Please welcome Miss Salve Dupito. Hi, Salve. Good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome to Brewed Awakening.
Hey, Migs! What's up?
Yes,
Magandang
what's
umaga
up?
sa lahat ng nanonood dito ngayon.
Magandang
Thank you
umaga.
for guesting me. Oo, sorry.
Yes. Ang hindi ko pala nakalimutan, Salve, ang financial beshi ng bayan. Yes.
Hindi ko rin alam. It's a great honor to be called the financial beshi ng bayan. At ang cute lang. Actually, nagsimula yan nung nag-guest ako sa isang event, tapos tinawag nila akong financial beshi ng bayan. It stuck. So ngayon, ganun na talaga tawag nila sa akin.
All right. So, Salve, for our viewers, of course, that are that recognize you, of course, you host On the Money. It's not really, a hard line business show. Diba? It's more on financial literacy, more on entrepreneurs, starting businesses, how everything is in the works. Diba? But you personally, that has also grown from that show, from what you do on that show, to becoming your personal advocacy. Diba? What is it for you? What is financial literacy for you, Salve?
Actually, nauna yung personal advocacy ko. Kaya nga ako napunta sa On the Money kasi I started my advocacy on financial literacy back when I was still a reporter for Business World, Migs. So, nung time kasi na yun, parang crisis yun, 1997. So, guys, yes, matanda na po ang financial beshi ng bayan. Mukha lang po tayong bata pa kasi medyo maliit po tayo, ganun. So, when I was reporting for Business World, ito na po yung ating kape. Ayan. Para yung kape pong pinadala ninyo, maraming salamat po.
Siyempre po, Kickstart Coffee.
Yes. So, when I was still in Business World, it was difficult. I saw a lot of people really struggling because the peso went from 26 to 40 in one night, and the market was really difficult at that time. Nagbabagsakan, and nakikita ko na a lot of people, the reason why hindi sila nakakapag-ipon is they hardly have any understanding, Migs, of ano ba yung bank account, ano ba yung checking account. Pag naumutang ba ako ng ganito ang interest, ano ba yung actual interest na kinukuha nila sa akin. And I really felt the need for financial literacy, financial education. And nung time na yon, bagito din ako, Migs. Parang graduate ako 1995. Tapos 1997, nagka-financial crisis. Di pang 2 years pa lang tayo nagtatrabaho nun. Ako lang pala, kasi bata ka pa. So parang feel ko talaga yung, wait, paano natin ina-navigate itong mundo na kailangan natin ng pera, may mga binabayaran tayo. I was also a young mom at the time. So parang feeling ko, hindi naman sa atin to tinuro nung elementary tsaka high school. And even in the home, my parents were so busy trying to make ends meet na hindi naman to talaga na pag-uusapan. Ano ba yung stock market? Ano ba yung bonds? Di ko gets. So what I did was I tried to educate myself while at the same time I published a page on Business World. I told the publisher, what, you know what? Hindi naman naintindihan ng tao yung GDP, GNP. Kaya dapat meron tayong page na personal finance. So I wrote a memo to the big boss and he said, do we need budget for this? Sabi ko, ako na bahala sa budget. Wala naman talaga mixed budget. So ang ginawa ko noon, I asked all my contacts in the business sector if they can write for Business World for free. And that was how it started. Financial literacy was really a personal need. And then it became an advocacy because a lot of people also decided that they needed that information. And so from 1997 to now, um, I started writing about it regularly. I became business editor of INQ7.net, wrote a blog. I don't know if your viewers now remember that blog when nobody was talking about blogging or vlogging. I was doing it for INQ7.net. It was called Money Smarts. And then because of that, I got into ANC because people see Tata Vinsons at that time was and who's this? Si Tata and Relly and a lot of the other bosses in ANC said it's high time that we have a show on personal finance, financial literacy in ANC because many of the viewers of ANC are not just the C-suite level ha. Marami tayong mga OFs, marami tayong mga middle management na kailangan din nilang ma-realize na yung lumalaking income nila should also be saved and invested. And we have a lot of small business entrepreneurs and young ones also. So lumaki talaga yung demand for financial literacy. Kaya,
Mhm.
ayun, napunta tayo sa ANC. Haba ng kwento ko.
Hindi, ang maganda nga because there is a foundation and fundamentals and there's a reason behind it, 'di ba sabi? Pero sabi mo nga 1997 you started this, 'di ba? Parang we have to laymanize, 'di ba? Kailangan maintindihan ng tao ano ba talaga yung mga
Oo.
nangyayari sa pera natin. 'Di ba? How has it grown from 1997 to now? Has it been a slow climb or has it been like, a monumental shift?
Ang ganda ng tanong mo, Migs, kasi wala pa nagtanong sa akin yan, ever.
I'm the first.
1997, I think, so to around 2005, parang may kulto. May kulto.
Mm.
Napansin ko yan. Lahat ng mga followers ko, from DFNN day, from Business World days to DFNN to INQ7.net until 2009, they stuck with me. Talagang tuloy-tuloy yan. Hindi nila ako iniwanan. Until I left INQ7, nung pag-alis ko, it was sobrang iyak ko nun, Migs. Alam mo, yung moment na umalis ako sa INQ7.net in 2009, I said goodbye because I was having another baby, I think, at the time, and I wanted to focus on family. So I said, mag-goodbye muna ako sa INQ7. And there were 2 years na noon na umaga't gabi nagsusulat ako about personal finance. And parang yung mga nanonood noon, sobrang kaibigan mo na, lagi silang nagko-comment, parang yung live streaming now na nagiging kaibigan mo yung mga tao. Tapos, na-realize ko, kaya ako nag-iiyak nun kasi I got a flood of emails from all our viewers na I started reading your blog posts. Baon ako sa utang. I just kept on following you, following your advice. And then by the time paalis na ako na NQ7.net, nag-i-invest na sila. So all that transformation, Migs, was so amazing to me because sinusundan pala nila ako. Kaya ako sinasabing kulto eh. Sila't sila. Hindi talaga sila hindi sila umalis at tuloy-tuloy nilang fina-follow to because financial literacy is really not just about money, it's about life. It's about how you live your life. It's about making sure that you have financial values. You're not just after the money, but after living a life full of joy na nakakatulong ka sa iba. But definitely you can't help other people, 'di ba? If you're not on higher ground. So these people really followed me but since that time, in answer to your question, 2009 onwards, sumabog to, Migs. Dumami ng dumami yung ibang financial literacy experts out there. And I'm really grateful that they also picked up the conversation. Hindi to competition eh. The more people I see who are into financial literacy, the more people I see on stage, the more people I see doing content, the more people who are getting interviewed on TV, it helps us spread this gospel, kumbaga, this knowledge of financial literacy. Kaya nung 2020, during the pandemic, feeling ko lalong natuto yung mga tao. Kasi I told you nga earlier people learn more when they're in pain. And 2020 really sobrang in pain yung mga tao, not just from initially the health crisis, but then it became an economic crisis. Ang dami nawala ng trabaho, ang daming yung mga small businesses nila na akala nila paakyat na ng paakyat, biglang bumagsak. 'Di ba? So, after that health crisis, ang susunod na iniisip ng mga tao, paano namin pagkakasyahin yung konting savings namin? Pag nagkasakit ka pa, kahit malaki savings mo, 'di ba? Wiped out lahat. And a lot of those, lalo na sa atin, Migs, yung mga nawala ng trabaho sa ABS-CBN, I heard some of them say talaga, sana nakinig na kami sa iyo noon nung sinasabi mo na mag-ipon para sa emergency fund. Kaso nga, too late na. That's why a lot of people now really want this kind of information na practical, doable, non-technical, at nakakatuwa. Minsan, we make it fun and exciting, di ba? Kaya lagi ko po sinasabi dun sa last time when Migs joined me in my stream, ginawa nating sexy yung finance. Oh, di ba?
Mm. Pwede pa
Kaya
rin
parang
naman,
hindi
Monday
siya, oh,
morning. Monday
of
morning,
course!
pasiksiin natin yung finance.
Mas
Pero
maganda, mas maganda.
personally, Salve, for Salve's tips, sige,
Yeah.
simulan na natin. Kahit konti lang, Salve.
Mhm.
Ikaw, what are your basic steps? Siguro para sa mga nanonood natin ngayon, tulad ni Emma Masuda, hashtag financial education, hashtag financial literacy, watching from
Ang daming
Japan.
hashtag.
Good
Yes!
morning, good morning. Ikaw, ano bang mga una mong maaabiso?
Oh, ang unang sasabihin ko kasi ito muna Mix. Simulan muna natin dun sa hindi dapat gawin sa
Yan.
simula. Kasi iiwasan natin yung lumukso agad tayo dun sa investing. Kasi pag sinasabi mong financial literacy, personal finance, agad iniisip ng mga tao, saan ko ilalagay pera ko? Sa stock market ba? Saan ba? Exciting yung stock market. Of course, it's sexy. 'Di ba? But if we don't have the right fundamentals, doing that can be very difficult. It's like a child learning how to walk. Pero nagsisimula pa lang siya maglakad, pinatakbo mo na dun sa may bangin, 'di ba? Mahirap 'yon. So
Mhm.
dapat the first really good step when you want to learn about financial literacy is trying to make sure that you understand your goals. So, kaya yung mga mini-mentor ko, sinisimulan ko yan with a dream board. I ask them to draw on the dream board. So, everybody who's listening today, if you have a piece of paper now, do it now with us. Draw on your dream board what kind of life you want to lead when you are 60 years old. Karamihan ng mga Pilipino very inspiring because they don't just draw their houses or how many cars are in their garage, or they don't just draw a swimming pool or di kaya a trip around the world once a year. Hindi lang yan ang mga drawing nila, Migs. Nakakatuwa, karamihan ng mga Pilipino, and I've done so many dream boards through my 25-year career. They usually have a school for young kids na walang pang tuition. Kasama yan lagi sa dream board ng mga Pinoy. Maybe a little school for small entrepreneurs. Ganon, laging may giving back at the end of their life. And that's great. So we want to find out what are the things that you need to save up for. And then we work backwards. How much do you need to save today? What kind of returns do you need para you can live that life full of joy? So what does this do to most people? You're not just focused on how much money you have. You're focused on what you want to do with that money so that you maybe leave this earth with a bigger footprint than when you came into it. So yun ang important. Goal setting. Find out first ano yung goals mo, how much that will take, and then figure out, work backwards, magkano kailangan kong ipunin ngayon para sa mga goals na yon. And then because you know now the time horizon, mas magigets mo, kailangan ko ba ng malaking return? Kailangan ko ba ng steady lang na return? Kasi pag masyadong mataas yung return, kailangan mo ng medyo risky investments. Pag maliit lang yung return, pwedeng steady-steady ka lang. Yun.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that's very important.
How do
Join
you
po kayo sa
calculate?
klase namin.
How
Yes.
do you calculate, Salve? Like kunwari, I'm an ordinary Juan.
Yes.
I'm working a company. I have these goals. But
Mm-hmm.
there are so many factors to consider, right? Salary, ang
Mm-mm.
taas ng
Yes,
gastusin,
that's
inflation rate,
right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
How do
Mm-mm.
you be able how do you become your dream more realistic in that sense? How
Right.
can you control your destiny in that sense?
That's right. It's called time value of money. For all of those who want to learn how a financial advisor really make sure that you reach your goals, it's called time value of money. Yung pera na meron ka ngayon, given 20, 30 years and this kind of return and this kind of inflation, magkano yan sa dulo? I won't be able to teach you obviously through this stream, but you can Google. Everything is Googleable now. Madali lang talaga yung computation na yan. You just Google TVM. It's called time value of money. When you learn how to be a financial, hi, good morning, Jenny Lynn. When you learn how to become a financial advisor, that's one of the first things that you will learn how to do. You will learn how to use time value of money to compute. And it can be used in many different ways, Migs. And eto, maganda yung punto mo kanina, inflation. Kasi 4.7 inflation, sobrang taas. And you know what that does? When you look at time value of money, you realize that inflation is the silent termite that eats into your savings. So 4.7% per year ang inflation. Magkano po bang kinikita ng bank account ninyo per year? Many Filipinos just put their money in bank accounts because natatakot sila na i-invest yan, di ba? But your bank accounts are earning you less than 0.5%, and inflation is charging you 4.7%. So all your money in the bank account every year is losing money.
Right.
Ulitin ko ha. Just putting your money in a bank account makes you vulnerable to losses. Kasi lumiliit na yung at 4 parang kumbaga yung 100 pesos mo next year will buy for this year will buy 4.7 less compared to last year. 'Di ba? Pero
Yes.
yung kinikita mo sa bank account mo, 0.5% lang yung kinikita. So nakita mo yung difference. That's how much you lose money in your bank account. That's why you have to learn how to invest your money also.
I'm personally curious, jumping off from that. Kasi siguro, like an ordinary one, di ba, ang Pilipino, kapag nilagay ang pera sa bangko, of course, you are secure, you have
Mhm.
control over your money, right? You can deposit, you
Right.
can withdraw, nakikita mo sa passbook. But
Mm-mm.
if, of course, financial experts like yourself, Savi, are saying na parang you have to invest it.
Yes.
Where is like a good quote unquote alternative to reinvest your money, 'di ba? And having that same control and having that
Mm-mm.
same sense of security. Kasi 'di ba, lagay mo sa stock market, 'di ba? Lagay natin diyan,
Mm.
pare sa for a blue chip company.
Mm.
But is it necessary that you'll get it back? 'Di ba?
Mm.
Yung 10,000 pesos na hard earned mo, naku, makikita ko ba ulit 'yan? Ano bang mangyayari diyan? Parang ganon.
Oo, magandang tanong yan. The universe of investments is very exciting. And there are many different forms of investments that you can choose. But like Mig said, yung level of security that you have are different depending on the kind of investment instrument that you're looking at. Kaya maraming Filipino Migs nag-i-invest sa lupa. Lupa tsaka bahay because there's a sense of security in seeing na, uy, yung lupa na yan, nandyan pa rin yan. Mga ninuno ko nga, may lupa, nandyan pa rin naman yung lupa. Yung bahay nandyan, kaya kong hawakan, ma-on off ko yung switch niyan. So that level of security, physical security is there, and you understand it because it's what? House and lot. So that's one form of investment people can buy so that their money will grow over time, especially if your lot has a possibility of appreciating in value. Ibig sabihin, may mga developments na nangyayari sa paligid, magkakaroon ng highway, magkakaroon ng mall, di ba? So, now, kunwari, at let's say na lang, para for ease of computation, 1,000 pesos per square meter yung lupa mo, pag nagawa na yung mall, baka maging 5,000 per square meter. So, yun yung ibig sabihin nun, you're putting your money to work by buying something that will appreciate over time. But of course, there's a risk also. May risk lahat ng investments. So, a deposit account has the least risk because up to 500,000, it's guaranteed by the PDIC. As in, walang, kahit na magsara yung bangko, ibabalik sa'yo ng gobyerno up to 500,000 of your money. And because it has the least risk, it also has the least return. So, ang risk mo doon, Migs, hindi doon sa fact na mawawala yung pera. Ang risk mo doon ay liliit yung value niya dahil inflation will always be higher at the present level of interest rate that the bank account is earning. Gets nyo ba? Magkaiba yung source ng risk niya. Sa bahay at lupa naman, andyan siya physically, hindi naman yan maibubulsa ng ibang tao at maitatakas, di ba? Pero ang risk naman doon is baka bahain ka, baka magkaroon ng lindol. So iba din yung risk na meron siya. Ang stock market, makikita natin na risky siya in the sense na paakyat pababa, paakyat bababa. Minsan meron ako mga kilalang stock market investors na napilitan lang na maglagay kasi nabudol ng kaibigan. Alam nyo yon, kung nakikinig kayo ngayon, i-press 1 nyo kung nabudol na kayo ng ibang tao. Sabi nila, oh, maglagay ka dito kasi aakyat yan next week, aakyat yan next month. Ganon. Tapos 3 years na, same level lang yung value ng stocks na binili nila. Less riskier ang stock market because it's very fluid. It's an investment instrument that's traded so many times during the day, up and down, up and down. Kaya at the end of the day, hindi mo talaga alam kung saan pupunta yan. Eto, Mig, sasabihin ko sa lahat ng nakikinig yan, I don't know if it's going to be controversial. Not a single soul on the planet, whatever their expertise and their experience in the market, can guarantee that they know where the stock market is going to be at the end of the day, at the end of the month, at the end of the year, or at the end of the decade. I've been watching the market for 25 years. It is foolish to think that we know where it is going to be. So as if you look at the chart, if I was prepared with this, sana pala nagdala ako ng chart dito. If you look at the chart, the stock market is always paganyan. Pero if you study it closely over 50 years, 100 years, for example, in the stock market in the United States, it has always gone from, I'll go from the screen, ha? Dito, ayan, yan. Paakyat, 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 baba, pababa, ganun. So it's always paakyat, pababa, but over time, it goes up. So how do you reduce your risk? If you're going to put your money in stocks, you make sure that you're invested over the long term. Huwag tayong mag-iisip na next month makukuha na natin yung return. So for Migs, you have a baby now, right? Your baby will go to college in 16 years. I bet that in 16 years, over 16 years, your savings now in the stock market will grow.
Mhm.
Pwedeng mapondohan ang pang-college ng anak mo kung ganun kahaba yung investment na tinitingnan mo. So, yes, a little risky, but less risky in the sense that its returns are almost always higher than inflation over an 8 to 10 year period. So,
Sabi
this is
nga ni
how, yes,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Sabi nga ni Bobby Sanchez, you can simultaneously do saving, investing, and giving, leaving life's footprints when you start living, knowing how much is enough. Salvi, I just want to ask you, of course, ngayon nga nasabi mo na 2020 has really brought out so much in the Filipino to learn, di ba? And
Mhm.
you mentioned to me earlier, bago tayo mag-start yung stream natin, engagements for financial experts like you
Mhm.
have doubled, have tripled because of the need, right? Because of
Mhm.
the need to learn, not just to learn, to be able to pass it also forward. Have you seen that? Have you seen that maybe in the past couple of months?
Definitely makes it's our people are in pain. They're struggling, and that's why they're learning faster. Um, Last year, sabi nung na-interview ko yung mga stock brokerage companies, primarily called financial, they said, um, sobrang umakyat yung number of people who are opening accounts. Like their account openings have increased 300 times in 2020. And this usually prior to the pandemic, nagbubukas ng accounts yung mga tao pero hindi naman pinupondohan. Alam mo yon, yung naka-open lang ng account pero wala namang perang nilagay. Hindi naman nag-transact. Last year, people opened accounts and they transacted. So this is one part of the public, of your public. These are people who have extra money. Maybe they've had money prior to the crisis, and maybe they realize this is the time to make that money grow. So they did that. But at the same time, there are also people, Migs, na lubog sa utang, walang trabaho, but they want financial education. They are trying to move faster now because they realize na if another crisis happens and we're perhaps seeing a second wave, what's going to happen to us if we don't have savings and investments? I think I'm not thanking COVID for all of these lessons, Mix. I don't think there's any reason to thank COVID for anything. What I'm doing is thanking the nature of human beings. Na kapag meron tayong pinagdadaan ng mahirap, we evolve. We have always done that. We have always evolved to make sure that we meet the needs of the next challenge. And I hope everyone who's listening today, if you have already evolved, tulungan nyo naman yung mga mahal nyo sa buhay na mag-evolve din. It requires a lot of people to talk about financial literacy so that we can create this better wave. Kung merong second wave ang COVID, dapat may better wave ang mga Pinoy para malagpasan natin yung mga pahirap na pagdadaanan natin dahil sa pandemya na ito.
Mm. Where are we now in terms of financial education, financial literacy, and how can Filipinos evolve?
I believe that we are moving faster. Kumbaga, sabihin ko, high school na tayo. Hindi pa tayo nasa college, pero
Okay,
high
yeah.
school na tayo. Hindi na tayo elementary. You know why? Government is into it. Central bank is putting everything that it has on financial literacy. Every year, there's a big financial education stakeholders event in central bank. And that's massive, Migs, because now you will see banks like RCBC go into financial literacy. Banks like BDO, BPI has been one of the earliest movers here because sila yung unang advertisers na on the money. Kaya yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Alam mo, Sun Life, BPI, they believe in this already. And that's what I see. Kaya tayo nag-high school na. Hindi na tayo elementary. The Insurance Commission is also into FinLit. SEC, specifically because of the need to educate people against scams. Si SEC Chairperson Emilio Aquino, grabe, yung record niyan, talagang scam buster yan. Tapos, he has been on my show so many times talking about financial education, Tess Herbosa, ang dami nating mga kaibigan na sa gobyerno. And that's why I think this is growing a lot faster. Because when your regulators are concerned about financial literacy, you will see the industries and institutions that they are regulating already also going into it. Second, meron ng mga financial literacy component ang elementary and high school education. Hindi siya tawag nito, hindi siya walang libro, walang sinisingit 'yan sa iba-ibang subjects. Kunwari, MAPE,
Mm.
meron 'yan. English, sinasama yan dun sa mga pag-construct ng sentence. They are seamlessly included into the curriculum so that our children and their children will have some sense of guidance. Parang organically nasi-sense na nila na, alam mo, pag nag-ipon ka, mas maayos ang magiging buhay mo. Kahit ganun lang kasimple na information, 'di ba? It's going to help them really with financial literacy. So that's why high school. And then you see a lot of other people already in the financial literacy field. Si Francis Kong's talking about financial literacy. 'Di ba? Si Brother Bo Sanchez is into it and all their other followers are really going into it also. So feeling ko high school na tayo. Konting-konti na lang college na.
Well, kung high school man, sana nasa na tayo, fourth year high school or nasa senior high
Yes.
school na tayo. Because we have to go to
Sana.
the next level, right? In terms of
That's right.
financial literacy and of course, making it widespread pa to the common
Mm-mm.
Filipino. All right, so Salve, nag-enjoy ako. I hope our viewers really enjoyed also from that quote-unquote free seminar. Thank you for that. Thank you for your tips. And of course, thank you for your
You're
knowledge
welcome.
in sharing to our Brewsters right here this Monday morning about financial education and financial literacy. Lastly, Salve, if you have shows, if you have programs, go ahead and plug them away.
Thank you, thank you. We have live shows every week. Meron tayong 5:30 to 7 o'clock minsan every Friday in Kumu. at the FYE channel of Kumu. And then on Saturdays naman, we have 3 to 4 p.m. in the Scene Zone channel of Kumu. So if you like live streaming, if you like watching people, talk about their financial lives also, and then getting tips, please download this app and then log on to our shows. We would love to see you on the stream. And then 8 to 9 every Saturday, I have a YouTube live session. Now, this is fun because in the YouTube live, we have people like Migs coming into the show, and we have investment experts always every Saturday. So you can ask your questions and have them answered live. So just please meet with us every Saturday at 8 to 9 p.m. And then I do have a lot of other engagements throughout the week. Ina-announce naman po namin ito. So please follow me on YouTube, Facebook, IG, and Twitter to get to know where you can watch us and join our classes, our mentoring sessions, and our webinars.
All
Yeah,
right. So of course, remember the
dami.
name and do not forget Salve Duplito right here on Brood Awakening. Salve, maraming salamat for joining us, and
Thank
of
you,
course,
Migs.
feeding us with knowledge, of course, to start our work week. And the kettle has whistled. We'd like to thank financial expert Salve Duplito for being our special guest for today. I'm Mix Bustos. We'll see you again next week, only here on Brood Awakening.